Coronation Street actress Lucy Fallon has shared a deeply personal and emotional account of her severe mental health struggles, revealing that she spent 5 weeks as an inpatient in a renowned psychiatric hospital during one of the darkest periods of her life. The 30-year-old star, best recognized for portraying Bethany Platt, the daughter of Sarah Platt in the long-running ITV soap opera, described hitting what she called absolute rock bottom. This crisis left her feeling completely hopeless, to the point where she could not envision any positive future for herself or see a way out of the overwhelming despair that consumed her. From a young age, Lucy has openly admitted to dealing with deep-seated insecurities that persisted and intensified over time. These feelings escalated dramatically during the COVID-19 lockdown period. She had chosen to leave Coronation Street in March 2020 after 5 successful years in the role, just as the pandemic brought the entertainment industry to a near standstill. With filming halted and auditions or new opportunities virtually non-existent, the sudden isolation and lack of professional momentum took a heavy toll. From quite young, I've always struggled. I've always been quite insecure. That got worse when we went through lockdown because I left Corey, and I wasn't really getting any work, she explained during an appearance on the Secure the Insecure podcast. The combination of personal vulnerability and external circumstances created a perfect storm, pushing her into an unprecedented low. By the end of 2020, Lucy's mental health had deteriorated to a critical level. She described it as a really bad batch of mental health, emphasizing how profoundly it affected her daily existence. In her desperation, she was admitted to the Priory, a well-known private psychiatric hospital in southwest London famous for treating high-profile individuals facing similar challenges. Treatment there as an inpatient is intensive and costly, often exceeding £7,000 per week, but for Lucy, it became a necessary intervention. She spent approximately 5 weeks there, undergoing structured care, therapy, and support in a controlled environment designed to stabilize those in acute crisis. Importantly, Lucy stressed that the decision to seek inpatient treatment was not entirely her own at first. She reached such a severe state that loved ones and possibly colleagues stepped in to insist on professional help. I ended up having to go to hospital, and it was from that point that other people were involved, my mom and my sisters and people that I'd worked with before, she recalled. It almost felt like other people, other factors were telling me, right, you need some serious help now. It's gone a bit too far. Upon arrival, she resisted the idea intensely, feeling alienated and convinced she did not belong among those requiring such intensive intervention. I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go, and I even remember getting there. I really did not want to go in, she shared. In the initial days, the unfamiliar setting felt strange and uncomfortable. Lucy questioned whether her struggles were severe enough to justify being there, experiencing a sense of disconnection from the reality around her. However, as the weeks progressed, her perspective shifted. After about a week, she began to feel a sense of safety and security that had eluded her for so long. At first, I didn't feel like I was bad enough to be there. It almost felt like this just feels a bit alien and a bit strange. After a few weeks of being there, I was like, okay. I got to grips with it. And actually, after a week of being there, I liked it. I felt quite safe, she reflected. She formed connections with fellow patients, some of whom she still maintains contact with years later, highlighting the unexpected sense of community that developed in such a challenging environment. The transition out of the hospital proved difficult. Lucy was prescribed medication to help manage her symptoms, something she has since discontinued, and she chose to move back in with her parents temporarily to rebuild stability. It took me a while to adjust. Coming out and being in the real world, and just having to carry on felt strange, she noted. The simple acts of having home-cooked meals prepared and laundry handled provided comfort and eased the pressure during recovery. Her family offered unwavering support, creating a nurturing space for her to regain confidence and routine. Looking back, Lucy views that chapter as belonging to an entirely different version of herself. It seems like a completely different life. I feel like that was a totally different version of me, she said. She acknowledges her fortunate recovery, recognizing that not everyone escapes such depths. I've been lucky enough to say that I did manage to get myself out of it because I know for so many people that's not the reality and you can stay on that level and it's really hard to get out of feeling like that. Meeting her fiancé, Preston North, and footballer Ryan Ledson via the celebrity dating app Raya marked a turning point. She was upfront about her past challenges early in their relationship, feeling burdened by what she perceived as baggage. Yet, she came to accept it as a temporary setback in her journey, affirming her right to happiness, love, and professional success after years of hard work. Tragedy struck again in early 2022 when Lucy experienced a miscarriage during a pregnancy she had hoped would usher in a joyful new phase. The loss left her devastated and feeling isolated amid others moving forward with their lives. I felt devastated. I felt like, how can this thing that I thought was going to be this amazing chapter just be taken away? I also felt like everybody else could just carry on with what they were doing, and I felt stuck, she confessed. The grief lingered, but conceiving again relatively soon and welcoming their son Sonny Jude brought perspective. If that hadn't happened, we wouldn't have Sonny. Even though it was horrendous, it almost showed me how much I wanted that to be the next chapter in my life. Their daughter Nancy arrived in January 2025, and Ryan proposed on Lucy's 30th birthday in November of the previous year. Lucy returned to Coronation Street on New Year's Eve 2023, reprising her iconic role as Bethany Platt. Today, she describes feeling more content than ever, though she experiences fluctuations like anyone else. Some mornings bring reluctance or overwhelm, especially with the demands of parenting two young children, but overall, she feels grounded and appreciative. I wouldn't say that I wake up every morning with a spring in my step, but then other days I wake up and I'm like, come on, let's seize the day, she shared. Her story underscores resilience, the value of support systems, and the importance of seeking help during mental health crises, offering hope to others facing similar battles.